Serruria! Save me!
The bright, cheerful voice booming across the lab didn't sound at all like the cry of someone in dire need of assistance. But, just in case, I still whirled around to check for myself. What is it now, Maria?
Oh, these marshmallowy cheeks of yours send me straight to the pearly gates of heaven. I can just feel my world-weary soul taking flight.
She rubbed her cheek against mine while professing some nonsense beyond my, or any rational human being's, comprehension. I stood aghast at her illogical-as-ever exclamations, but knowing that despite her baffling behavior, she was still the greatest intellect this country had ever known, left an even worse taste in my mouth. So, what do you want? You're interrupting my research.
Oh, I see you're being extra icy today. Well, you see, I just made this new discovery.
From there, she prattled off about what she'd found, but her explanation was almost too difficult even for me to follow. This girl is a genius in the truest sense of the word, unlike me, who's just a complete failure. Everything started when I was placed in charge of a certain experiment at the Academy. The Academy was expecting big things. It was the one thing I couldn't afford to mess up. But my new medicine made to accelerate plant growth did the exact opposite. It killed all the plants in the school. I desperately clung to the teacher as they tried to leave. Please, just give me one more chance. I'll get it right this time for sure. I promise. In place of a response, all I received in answer was the cold, booming slam of a closing door. Their decision was clear. My dismissal from the Academy was all but confirmed. Seeing me collapsed on the ground, tears pouring from my eyes, a lone girl reached out her hand to me. Lifting my head, I saw her break into a gentle smile.
Say, tell me, how do you feel right now?
Huh? Who the hell does this girl think she is?
You see, my whole life I've always just been too smart to fail. So, how does it feel to fail at something?
Sure. Let me just kill you first! Tackling the girl to the ground and climbing on top of her, I taught her exactly how it felt with my fists. Obviously, it hurts like hell! I put in all that time and effort only to mess up and lose everything! Before I knew it, my clenched fists had lost their strength, tears raining down in their place. This is the only place I have. If the Academy throws me out, I'll have nowhere left to. As I lost the ability to move, the girl wrapped me in a warm embrace.
It'll be all right. You have an infinite future ahead of you. Just keep messing up and starting over as many times as it takes. One little failure isn't the end of the world.
It's okay to fail. That was the first time I'd ever been told such a thing. So I found myself lifting my head without thinking. When I did, the girl let out an amused laugh.
If you're up for it, let's be friends.
The fact that I'd felt saved for a moment by her sudden words would be the end of my luck, as the girl offering her friendship was none other than Maria. After the two of us waited out our temporary suspension from the Academy, I began assisting Maria with her research. Long ago, Darula had once been on the verge of ruin. The cause remains a mystery to this day, and was the subject of Maria's research at the Academy. Proposing new theories, modifying lab equipment only to tear it apart right after, raising plants together. It hurts to admit, but the days I spent with Maria weren't just hectic. They were fun. Our research even includes classified government intel, but that doesn't seem to bother Maria, seeing as how she just leaves confidential documents out on her desk in broad daylight. Just as my eyes happened to glance across the contents of said documents, I found myself suddenly doing a double take. Demon seed transplantation? The test subject is Maria? That very moment, I heard an explosion coming from the Academy's prohibited research facility, as an ominous-looking plant began to break forth from the building. Maria! A giant bud began to surge from the research facility, spreading its viney tendrils across the campus. This level of rapid growth can't be possible with just the plant's power alone. Don't tell me that what once brought this country to the verge of ruin was... If that's the case, then the only ones who can put a stop to this are the ones who researched its origins, Maria and I. I slowly relaxed my clenched fists. If Maria is inside of that bud, then there's only one way to save her. Maria had that plant put inside her of her own volition. I don't know why she did such a thing. But I won't let you go and die on me without so much as considering how I feel! Maria, our research is behind again because of you. I call out to the tightly knit petals of the bud, believing Maria to be inside. As punishment, I'll have you sort 100,000 pollen spores out by hand, so you better get ready. In response, I felt like I heard Maria's voice saying, "That'd be a real pain." If she's still conscious in there, then... I glanced down at what's in my hand once more. I have no proof that this will work, but... Maria, you were the one who told me it's okay to fail. So take this! I threw the vial clenched in my fist as hard as I could. The vial of my failed experimental medicine that had killed every plant in the school. Bathed in my medicine, the foreboding bud's petals unfurled, a frail frame falling from its once twisted maw. Frantically reaching out my arms to catch her, the fallen girl weakly smiled up at me.
At least make it 10,000.
That won't do. If you miss even one spore, I'll have you start from scratch. Over and over again, as long as it takes.
As long as it takes, huh?
Why did you do such a stupid thing? I wanted to lecture her on a million things, but something else left my lips. Welcome back, Maria. Nestled in my arms, Maria grinned back at me.
Oh, look who's got a cute side underneath all that ice.
Why do I like someone like this? I shouldn't have saved her after all.